Good afternoon, everyone. Today we continue our discussion on Quantmod, a very powerful package in R. There are, of course, other packages, and we're going to use Quantmod in tandem with the others in order to come up with the lessons that we need to learn, like portfolio optimization, like a bit of trading, making use of the TTR and Quantmod, etc. Okay, so I already provided the syllabus class. Kindly go through it, and we may tweak a bit the contents of the syllabus, so it will really depend on our pace. Okay, but that's our desired outline for this course. So far we have learned that this powerful function get symbols allow us to download prices uh, by default from Yahoo Finance, but we can get, as you have learned, other financial or economic data from Fred, uh, exchange rate from Wanda, and there are other many sources that we can use in downloading data. Okay, so for example, in this case, let me just run this. This is the ticker symbol for Goldman Sachs. Oops, sorry. That means that I haven't, because I closed my computer a while ago. So let me just check. Quantmod is not loaded now. I will have to check. Will have to load it. Okay, and then it loads already. And as you know, the code for that is either library or require, and automatically it also loads XTS, zoo, and TTR together with it. So if I check, for example, just a quick review, TTR, okay, it's now checked also because I also loaded Quantmod. Okay, and if I run this, it will give us the stock prices from Yahoo Finance of Goldman Sachs. And if I view this view, it gives us data from January 3, 2007, which is the first trading date of 2007, and the last being trading information yesterday, May 23. So this will keep on adjusting, so will keep on updating, and the beginning will always be January 3, 2007. Okay, so with that, there are many other functions that we can make use of in Quantmod. There are some question functions like is.ohlc, which asks the nature of our data, and Quantmod says that it's true that this is a OHLC. This questions if there is a volume. Yes, there's a volume for that. We know that the GS has 6 rows, 6 columns, OHLC, and then the volume, and then the adjusted price. Now you can, for example, create a new object. Here it's open Goldman Sachs, and it only includes the opening price. So if I load this, if I run this, you can now see that in our environment here, OpenGS. Okay, and if you open this, you will see that it only contains the opening price of Goldman Sachs. Okay, later on in attendance. Okay, so other functions class, you can also create an object for the adjusted prices, adjust GS, it's adjusted price. Okay, the series high will tell us which of the observations in the GS gives us the highest value. And usually the reckoning is at the closing price. Okay. If we check, let's see, maximum, okay, GS. I'm not sure if this, let's see, maximum GS, so it's a volume. Okay, let's see, maximum GS should be, let's get the close. The close is 470.41. So apparently it's not the closing price that was used to get the maximum. What's the closing? 362. So it's not the closing. I'm not sure, class, if 470.40. So is it the high? GS dot high. Let's see. Maximum GS $, highest price. Oops. $471.40. Yes. Okay. So it's based on the highest price for the whole series. So it was not based on the closing price, but rather the highest price. GS stands for Goldman Sachs. Okay. Goldman Sachs is a financial institution, and the ticker symbol for GS is Goldman Sachs. Okay. Thank you for that question. And please keep the question coming. Thank you, Nicole. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay, so let me share this portion of our discussion. This is just, I think I shared this already with you, but anyway, just very quickly. This explains the next lines of code. Okay, please tell me if I've shared it so that we won't waste time for me copying it, recopying it. Okay, have I shared this with you before last time? May I have your confirmation, class? Did I or no? I think we were in the classroom and I'm not sure. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay. Anyway, so non-double, no? So ito, class, this code chunks will just give us the percentage change. Ito open, close with intradata, no? For a particular day, there's an opening price and a closing price. So to get the percentage change, you just divide the closing by the opening minus 1. Okay, and open class will be just the opening of the next day divided by the opening of the current day minus 1. And then high, and then the close will be on the same day, you get the closing price divided by the highest close. Okay, so these are just simple functions that can be used. Now we can also subset the data. I'm just going through this very quickly because we already discussed this. So if I want, for example, to create an object which contains only 2007 data, then I'll just identify my object GS and then subset it to contain only the year 2007. So I created this object GS 2007, and if I run this, okay, it will now create this GS 2007. And if I inspect this, take a look, 2007, 0103 until 2007, the last trading day of 2007. So these are very easily understood functions, subsetting. You can subset a particular period, 2007, June up to 2008, January 12. Or you can subset everything. It's just subsetting everything. You get the same thing. Okay, and then this is from 2008 up. And here we can create non-contiguous, which means not non-continuous data set. This is January 2020, February 2020, and December 2020. Okay, so we create this object non-contiguous, which consists of this that character vector. If I run this, then I will now have in my values here a character vector, okay, of the same dates. And then I can now use this as GS and then to subset it. So if I run this, I'll have the data that consists of these dates. Okay. Any questions about this class so far? Okay. All right. So this one we also discussed last time. I will not anymore discuss this. It just gives us the last observation, the last 3 weeks, etc. Now I want to focus here. When we run periodicity of Goldman Sachs, it will give us information about how is the data, how the information about the data as to its periodicity. Okay, so here we know that Goldman Sachs is daily data. We're given the dates. Okay, as an assignment class for you, I'd like you to determine where does the 86,400 come from? Itong unclassify natin periodicity. Okay, I'd like you to explore or to determine what's this. The rest are easily. What's the frequency? What's this 86,400? We have here the time difference. What do you mean by the time difference of 86,400 days? The start date is easily understood. The end date, okay? The units, the scale, the label, okay, that's easily understood. So I want you to find out what's that 86,400 all about, okay? When we run this unclassify, unclass periodicity GS. Okay. Another powerful thing about Quantmod is that you can make use of this function, for example, 2 weekly, okay? You can make use of 2 monthly, right? And create objects out of that. So let me create here an object called, okay, this one, let me just copy this, Control C. I'll include the assignment operator, Control C, Control D. I think I should put here, why, that's okay. GS monthly. And here I can put here, you can even use also yearly. We can also get yearly data. And then this is 2 yearly. Okay, notice I'm going through this quickly because we already discussed this. This just allows us to, okay, this one, okay, here. So I'm creating this object GS weekly, and it converts your GS data, which is a daily data, into a weekly data. So let's take a look at this, your GS weekly, and you can see here that it starts with January 5, okay, and then every week becomes now weekly data. It will be interesting to know, class, in January 5 na to, let's take a look at GS. January 5, let's compare the closing. January 5, this is 199.05. Now, is it the same as the GS weekly? 199.05. Okay, this one 213.90. Go here. That's January 12. January 12, 213 point, the close, 213.99. Let's see, January 12, 213.99. Okay, so it did not make any manipulation. It just got the Friday date. Okay, so it got the Friday date, and then that will be the price for that specific week. Okay, then that's true also for monthly and even for yearly. Let's take a look at monthly, GS monthly, and then you can see now it's at the end, January 2007. Now, what will this be? Closing 2112.16. Let's take a look at GS 2112.16. What's that? January. Is that the last trading day? 131, 2112.16. This one plus. Okay, so it took the last day of the particular period, whether it's weekly, monthly, or in this case, monthly, kinuha niya yung last day of the month. And that will be representative of the date for the date for the month of January. Okay, in some instances, it might not be accurate to use that. In some instances, it might be better to use the average of the month. So that will require another a different type of coding. So maybe you'd like to explore that. Okay, and then GS yearly, the same thing here. It will reflect the end of the month, end of the year. Okay. Or you can make use of this. Okay, since the periodicity of GS is daily, you can use periodicity to monthly. Okay, so if we now take a look at GS, it is now, okay, no, not that one. I have to look at GS here. Oh wait, I didn't create kasi, sorry. Sorry. So here, a periodicity to monthly. So I can print this out so that GS will become monthly. But if I want that I convert GS to be monthly data, I'll just put here an object called GS1, for example. Okay. All right. So this just computes for the number of days, number of weeks, and the number of years for the GS dataset. Okay. All right. This one we did last time. I'd like now to focus on here. So let's discuss now yung charting. Okay, when you use Quantmod, the chart series dataset, Quantmod creates a CHOB. It's called the CHOB, or a chart object. And this is very powerful because you can just imagine if you were using Excel to print, to generate our plot, it will really be very difficult. Or even the plot, ordinary plot function of R, it's a bit difficult to use that. So Quantmod has different types that it can plot. It can be a line chart, a bar chart, or candlestick. These are the common ones. There are others. Okay. So let's, for example, I'm going to get symbols, Yahoo, Apple. Okay. And then if we plot, if you use the base R function for plot, if I run this, then we have discussed this last time that it will not be a good plot because you have unscaled differences. Volume, of course, will be very high, while the prices will be very low. If you can see here, the black line, these are the plots of the OHL, OHLC, and then adjusted. This one is the volume, which will dominate it because the volume is very big. Okay, so to go around this, it would be good to make use of the chart object, the CHOB, in Quantmod. Did I give this to you, class? These notes here. Could you kindly chat, please? If I gave this to you. This one. Yes or no, please? Okay, no? All right, sige. I'm going to share this with you. Yung notes lang muna, okay? All right, Control C. Okay, so you can include that in your notes, in your Quantmod file. Okay, so this is just a brief discussion of of how Quantmod generates a plot. So two-step process yan, no? First, ina-examine yung data, and then it determines okay, examined and basic decisions on how best to draw the series. Okay, so this is what I referred to as a CHOB, yung chart object. Tapos automatically pinapass on yan to generate the best type of plot. So we can identify, of course, we can identify kung anong plot ang gusto natin. For example, ito. Let's just use this one. Okay. Bar chart, then Apple, subset nung November 2023. You can identify the theme, the bar chart for HLC. Okay, high, low, close. Okay, let's see how this will run. Control Enter. And we now have here, okay, this is now our plot, our bar chart. Okay, bar chart for November. Okay, and you notice that Okay? Andyan yung highest, lowest, okay? Close. Asan yung close natin? Itong line na to, class. Yan ang closing. And this is the volume. Okay, you can, of course, let's try to put here OHLC. It also reflect the opening here. Okay, I change this one. So na si bar chart here. So I made this OHLC itong November. Okay, and let's see what happens. Control Enter. Okay, ano nangyari, class? Meron ng left at saka right, no? So if it's a bar chart and if you're plotting OHLC, okay, ano yan? Anong difference ng nasa ano? The one on the left will be your opening and the one on your right will be your closing. Okay, so if your opening, the one on the left, is lower than the one on the right, that bar there on the right, then that means that this is an increase in the price. Okay, ito yung kulay green ng candlestick. Ito naman, green din to, no? Kasi yung opening niya nasa left, yung closing nasa right. Okay, and you still have the same, the highest and the lowest. Okay, so let me pause for a while and ask for your feedback if so far clear yung bar chart. No? Bar chart is almost the same as the candlestick. Only the difference is in yung color scheme wala, no? And also it's just a bar, a thin stick if you may. Feedback, waiting for your feedback, Lance. If you got it, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. Appreciate your feedback always, class. All right, so let's now move on. So first we looked at the bar chart. You can also, this one you know, the default of the chart series is candle chart, but you can of course use candle chart. Okay, so let's do this candle chart and then Apple, and then let's also subset December of 2020. We can write the theme. Of course, there are many other themes. Theme white.mono, bar type is, let's also put here OHLC. So we know this, we have seen this plotted before. Control, okay, sorry. I have my OHLC here. Let me just, if I put bar type is equal to HLC, Control Enter. Okay. Okay, so it gives us the white background, okay, and HLC lang yan. High, low, close. And then for this one, Control Enter. Okay, black yung background niya. Ito yung sa chart series, no? Open, high, low, close. With the color. All right, that we discussed already before, di ba? Yung candle chart. So bar chart, candle chart, pwede rin line chart class ito. Okay, so let's plot line chart, Apple, December of 2020. Okay, pwedeng white, pwedeng black yung ano. Control Enter. This is white. You can see now the line chart, line plot, or black. Same thing ng plot kanina. Okay, so let me pause for a while and once again, allow you to catch up. Maybe I'm going too fast. It's because this is just a review. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. Okay, thank you. How about the others? Are we clear so far, class? Okay, good. Okay, so let's move on. There's another type of chart. Okay, so we can actually make use of the chart series type, chart series function, but this time we can identify the type. A while ago, uh, and even last meeting, when we used chart series, the default was always a candlestick. Okay, not necessarily always, because if you identify the type, okay, just like this one, chart series Apple. Okay, maybe let's just subset it so that it will be shorter. Let's see, 2023. Yeah, the whole of 2023. Let's see. Sorry, wrong. This will return an error. Yung subset nga pala separate ano siya. Here, subset 2017. Okay, so let's run this. The type is a line chart, which is just the same as the one above. Okay, so it will give us this line chart. Okay, of course, you can change the theme. This one is theme black. This is the default. There. Sorry, candle chart pala to. Ano. Ito pala yung gusto kong, this is the one. Okay, this one. This is for 2020 December. There. Okay. Sorry. This one. Here, class. Sorry. Here. Keep on pointing to the wrong chart. Okay, or you can use instead of line. Okay, so this one is line, and then this one is bar. You know what a bar will look like, class? Just a line. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, there. No? Straight lines lang siya. No? There. Unlike a candlestick, we've discussed this in the past, so you know how this will look like. There's a color scheme to it. Okay, and it's easy to determine if the price increased through the color. Okay, green, it's an increase, and this one, sort of an orange, is a downturn of prices. Okay, I'll pause again, class. Again, I might be going too fast for your comfort. I'd like to know, class, if so far my pace is just, I might be a bit fast, but since this is only a bit of a review, then would you kindly give me a feedback? Okay. Okay, my question dito, yung quiz, of course, it will, ang majority ng data and data structure. And I might throw in some of the basic questions sa Quantmod. Sasama ko na rin, no? But not the one that's related to TTR, which I'm going to explain in a while. But yung mga get symbols, most probably kasama na yun. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, let's go here now. By the way, this one. Okay, so I'm using here not the line chart, not the line, not the bar chart, but rather the candle chart. And I'd like Quantmod to plot Apple. Okay, type is equal to candles. So okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to share this with you. Control C. Okay. All right, if we run this one at a time, this one, candle chart, Apple, theme equals white, type is equal to candles. Run natin. Of course, we know that this will plot for the whole period, 2007-13, up to the last one, yung candle chart. Just can't see it clearly because this is a long period. Now, I can make use of the rechart function so that yung major ticks natin will be months. Kasi dito ang major ticks, we can't really see it, pero ang major ticks dito is daily. Okay, but we can make it major ticks is equal to months. and subset is equal to first 16 weeks. So could you kindly run this line of code and tell me what happens? Did it run? Did it run, class? Yes or no? Waiting for your response, class. Okay, I am expecting a no. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's right, no. Why is it a no, class? Because we first run this, and then when we run rechart, then R does not understand what's this for. Where is this coming from? So if you use the rechart function, it should be in the context of the initial chart that you made. So here, we just like to make the plot the first 16 weeks based on this candle chart here of Apple. So if we run this together, if I run this together, then it will generate two plots. Okay, take a look here. The first one is for the candle chart, that one. The second one is for the rechart. There. So notice now, naka-rechart na siya, no? Okay. What happened? Ang ticks natin ngayon, months na to, and then last 16 months na to. Last 16 weeks, I'm sorry. Okay, so we see that it was able to read. The context natin kasi Apple. Yung rechart, wala naman kasi nakalagay na Apple yan. So it will not be understood. Okay, so this has to be contextualized to rechart. All right, so let me first just share with you this note. Okay, until here, Control C. So at this point, we're going to look at the basic introduction to the interface between Quantmod and TTR, technical trading rules. If you have done investments, then, or maybe you're just doing it now, capital markets or investments, part of the lessons that you're going to read there are, I mean, to learn there, depending on who the faculty is. So, sinasama itong mga technical indicators na to. Okay, so while we're here, sama rin natin ng konti. So part of your assignment class, not to be submitted, is to learn how to, let's say, generate an SMA, an EMA, a CCI. Okay, these are technical indicators. And what do this mean? Okay, later on, we're going to go back to this and use these technical indicators to come up with trading strategies. So that's part of financial analytics. All right, so here we're plotting Apple. TA is equal to null. So this means that there will be no additional technical indicators. No? So if I run this, Control Enter. Okay, so I don't think I gave this. I'll give this code chunk. Control C. So that may chance tayo maging kapareho ng kabilang sections. No? Okay, so I'm going to run this again. TA is equal to null. And what does that give us? Take a look. So it only runs the candlestick plot of Apple. There is no volume here because we said that TA, okay, TA is equal to null. So hindi kahit volume hindi kasama. Yung mga prices lang. Okay, what if we do this? So let's now create chart series then Apple theme is equal to white, comma, but this time we're adding the technical indicators. No? So add natin quotes, add volume, close, add Bollinger Bands, and add commodity index. No? Okay, so let's run this. Control Enter. And what do you have now? Okay. So we have here the non-red ones is your prices. Okay. This one is your volume. The red one here is your Bollinger Bands. Kasi may ano yan, may parang maliit na shape, no? Because it has a confidence interval. And then this one is your CCI. Okay, in the future, we're going to learn how traders might be able to use this. No? Because this can be used as trading signals, whether one will trade or not trade, sell, or of course, we will not really go into that in greater detail because this this discussion is more carried in capital markets or in your other finance subject. So for us, it's more of the utility of using quant mode and then being aware that we can use quant mode with TTR as an independence to, let's say, to work to generate uh, Bollinger Bands, EMA, SMA, etc. Okay. The interpretation, not so much class, but we will have an example. All right. So you can also use this. Okay. Now, once again, let me illustrate. If I just run this, it will generally give us a plot of your Apple year 2000, 2020. Okay, year 2020. And then walang volume, no nothing. So if you run this particular line of code, control enter, then as expected, okay, it will not give us the volume because we had written TA is equal to null. Okay, so but if we add this class, I'm going to highlight this. So it will, in conjunction with the chart series, add volume, Bollinger Bands, and CCI. I'm going to run this, control enter. Okay, so we now have here two plots actually four. Okay, first is a chart series of Apple, then volume was added, then Bollinger Bands was added, and then CCI was added. So take a look at this, the projection. Okay, so this is the initial. So this is just your Apple without the volume. Wala, bare siya. And then what's this? You can now find here the volume in order of appearance in the code. And then next is your, this is your Bollinger Bands. This is your band, no? And then lastly, your CCI. Okay. So were you able to follow along, class? Any questions about that? Waiting for your response. Kindly chat, please, if okay so far. I'm getting only one response. How about the others, please? Okay, only four. I hope the others are able to follow, no? Ay, wait. Ba't hindi ko yata na ano to? I thought I was able to share it with you. I did, no? Na-double lang. Okay. All right. So we come now to a very important discussion on returns. Okay, so in the other section, we ended here. So I think we'll be able to at least match their pace, even if we started late. And thank you for waiting, class. Okay, so it's always important to learn how to compute for the returns. Okay, kasi oftentimes when you do when you do a research topic, the focus is more on the returns of the stock, returns of the asset, rather than the price itself. Okay, unless you're creating a research on how to model or how to predict the price itself. But there is a greater dimension of discussion that will be added if you focus on the return profile of the asset rather than the absolute value of the asset itself. Okay, so let me copy this. Control C. Oops. It rejected it, sorry. I'm going to subtract. Let's see. Okay, so kindly copy that to your notes and also this one. Okay. So let's go back here. Returns. Okay, I'm sure you already know how to compute for the returns, but maybe from R, using R, or maybe not, but we're here to learn that today. So there are different types of returns, of course, you know. We have the simple returns, or the average returns, and we have the geometric or the CAGR, uh, CAGR. Okay, so let's learn how to generate the returns of an object in R. So let's first load the star box. Okay, I will not share this. I'm sure you can easily write that. So get symbol star box, and let's check. Yeah, we have the object already here. Okay, so if we check, for example, the structure, str of S box. Okay, we know that this is a time series there. Time series siya, no? As expected using the get symbols package. Okay, so let's now go back here. So when you compute for the returns, okay, so we can make use of daily return, weekly return, monthly return, or even yearly return. Okay, so I don't think I've run this. Have I? Anyway, so get Starbucks. Then I can plot this to see. Basic plot. Okay. So that's a plot of Starbucks. And then we can now generate an object, which is Starbucks daily return. And then using the function daily return or weekly return or monthly return. Okay, so Starbucks daily rep. Let's run this. Okay, and then if okay, let me just, okay. So here it's in our object, Starbucks daily rep. Okay, there. So what's interesting is that class, when did the return start? Daily return. When did it start? It started January 3, di ba? Okay. So let me ask you a question. What price was used in generating this? Would you kindly check, class? You have here, I hope you have downloaded Starbucks also. Here, Starbucks. There. My question is, what prices was used in determining, for example, this one? Let's start with January 4. Okay. And as I said a while ago, what's used here is a simple returns lang, which means the current divided by the previous minus 1. So in this case, the return on January 4 will be, this is the current, this is the previous, you divide them, and then minus 1. And check, please. Sorry, I was saying hindi dito sa return, ano? Yung return dito galing sa Starbucks natin ito. What my question is, what's being used? Is it the high, low, close? Is it the adjusted figure that's used to compute for the return? So take note on January 4. The return is 0.0011347777. So how was that obtained? What price was used? Okay. Kindly chat, please, your answer. And as proof, you show the proof class. What's the proof for that? Waiting for your response, class. What was the price used in computing for the Starbucks daily return? Because we could have used, for example, we could have used the opening. So for opening, I'm going to copy this. Control C, Control V, 17.685 divided by the opening. Control C, Control V, and then -1. Control Enter. So it's -60064. Sorry. What am I using? Starbucks? My bad. I should use GS. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so wait. Is it GS? Yeah, it's this one. It's Starbucks. Yeah. So back to my question, what was used? If it was the uh, what did I use here? Starbucks 17.685. Yeah, I used the opening price. If it was the opening price, then the return should be 0.00134. So it's not, okay? It's not. So what price was used? Plus. Is there a comment here? What price was used? Okay, let's try the closing. Yeah, Louis, kindly share your answer to everyone. And could you kindly copy paste the quotient that you used that led you to that conclusion? Okay, so 17.645 over 17.645, this one over 17.625 -1. So that's 0.0013475. Okay, for our Starbucks return, 0.00134.7. Okay, so this was it. It used the closing price. It's not exactly the same because we're just copying the price. Okay, which is just these are not the real prices. May ano pa yan, may mga decimal place na. That's why it's not that exact. So to compute for the returns, R made use of the closing prices, which makes sense, unless it makes use of the adjusted price, because oftentimes adjusted price is also used for computing returns, and there are reasons why it's used. Okay, so how about so here we use daily return. You can compute weekly return, we can compute monthly return, and you can compute yearly return. Okay, so that makes this one very, very powerful, okay, as far as computing your returns is concerned. Okay, for example, if I run yearly return, okay, this one, Control Enter, and then let's view this yearly return. Here, Starbucks yearly return. Okay, then gives us, okay, it gives us the ending date for December. Okay, it will be interesting to know how this was computed. Okay, paano na-compute to? Is it end to end? Okay, is it January 31 divided February last day divided by January last day, last trading day, -1. Yeah, I'd like you to find that out, class. Find that out. How was this computed? So that we know paano kino-compute ni R yung mga returns na to. Okay, so let me just close some of this. Okay. All right. Any questions, class, so far? Any questions? Let me put the question to the positive. Okay. Is everything clear so far? Okay lang? Okay lang please natin. Kindly chat yes or no. I want to find out, class. Your feedback is very important. Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone who still finds it quite fast? Okay, thank you. Thank you, class, for the feedback. Now take note again, friendly reminder, if you find me really seemingly to rush over the codes, then please remind me about it or inform me about it. Okay, all returns naman, class. What will this give us? Yan. So andyan si monthly, quarterly, yearly, may weekly pa, and daily, of course. Okay, all returns yan. Okay, so where am I? Okay, so we have a few more minutes, at least to put ourselves in the same position as the other section. Okay, now this is what I was telling you about. These are now our technical indicators, which are used in order to determine if on returns, it's used also for trading as signals if an investor should buy or sell. This one, the codes. No, Luis, dapat inaano nyo. Ang sinishare ko lang dito in notes, ha. Pero I want you to be doing the code yourself. So dapat kayo yung gumagawa nun, kayo nag-ano for practice. Otherwise, class, wala na yung mararab kayo of the opportunity to code it on your own. Kaya nga importante na as I'm discussing, if you're having difficulty with a particular code, then mag-raise na kayo ng hand. No? Okay, so let's take a look at some examples of trading indicators. All right, so this one, okay. Okay, simple moving average muna tayo, very easy to do this. Okay, so here, okay, again, please make a copy of this one. I'm not going to share it with you. I want you to write it. What are we doing here? We're using the function SMA, simple moving average. Okay, and we're creating this object SMA. And what are we getting? We're using the closing price of Apple in 2023. And then we have a very important number here, n is equal to 20. So what does this mean? It means that it will take the 20 days, get the average of that, and that will be the value of the SMA on day 21. Let me repeat that. So for example, you have January 1 as an example, up to January. Why don't I use this? Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So we have the prices from January 1 up to January 20. We also have January 21 here, of course. Now, so these are your prices. This is, let's say, GS, for example. Okay, and here we're using the closing price, okay? Okay, Apple closing. So these are the closing prices. Now to get the SMA, simple moving average, n is equal to 20 days. So for the first 20 days, no average yan. NA lahat yan. Why NA everything? Because we don't have 20 days yet. Okay? So if you now have 20 days, so what will happen is that it will get the average of January 1 up to January 20 and get the value will be here, whatever the average is. Okay? And then for January 22, what will happen? What will happen, class? So you'll be able to get the average because from January 2 up to January 21, that's 20 days. So it will get the average of this for the January 22 data. Okay? So it's a moving average. Dapat 20 ng 20. Okay, so if we run this, going to delete this, clear. Okay, if I run this class, Control Enter, and then here we have SMA here. There, and I printed it here. Take a look at this. If you count this, 20 days to. So walang SMA in the first 20 days. The SMA now is this one. Okay, if we check, but again, Apple, we're not going to have, okay, I have to run Apple first. Wala to. Okay, there. So closing, it's difficult to get this one. Okay, but I can, it's very easy, guys, to get the first 20 days of closing. Okay, so let's see. AAPL close. Okay, time na pala. Okay, sige. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was to illustrate, and we wanted to prove sana class na yung the, okay, let me close. Dami na nakabukas. Okay, there. Sana sa SMA ito? Okay, so first 20 days ng closing price ni Apple, get the average of that, ito yon. Then starting with January 4 up to January, whatever the date is, 20 days na naman yon. Kaya meron tayong tinan dito yung running average. Yan. And SMA is used as an indicator. It's used as a trading strategy. Okay, so we'll have an example of that in the future when we go to that specific topic. Okay, so let me just end in this class. So you can do it for, not only for SMA, your assignment class will be take a look at si Quantmod, ano yung mga metrics doon, ano yung mga indicators, andyan si EMA. So the code is very simple. Siyempre, dapat may price tayo ng stock. Okay, ito naman exponential moving average, Bollinger Bands, ito yung kanina, no? So for example, standard that our SD is equal to 2. Okay, if I just run this, okay, and then take a look at BB. So ano naman yung Bollinger Bands? No? Tingnan nyo ha. Merong down, merong moving average, merong up. Tsaka merong percentage. No? Okay, so try to learn what this means. Kasi yun ang kailangan natin before we can plot the Bollinger Bands. Okay, no wonder class, yung Bollinger Bands, as you see a while ago, meron siyang ano, di ba? Meron siyang confidence interval. Okay? It has a confidence interval kasi it computes for upper value at saka lower value. Okay, so aside from that class, momentum, moving average, convergence, divergence, MACD, RSI, okay, etc. Okay, so let me just show you the chart of Bollinger Bands here using Apple. Okay, you can now see this one, di ba? Yun, no? Kita niyo yung bands. The Bollinger Bands, yun. May gray area, upper at saka lower. Okay, so next meeting class, we'll continue with this. The goal is for us to finish Okay, matapos na tong basics ng quant mode so that we go to the others and then we go to based dun sa ano natin sa syllabus, we go there. Okay, we follow that. And then I said I might tweak some